Yo, what's good? SupremeDaalmighty back in the building. Yo, we got Pop the Brown Hornet on the show tonight. Shout out to everybody that be tuning in and whatnot. Shout out to the sponsors, of course. Snow Goons, Creative Uses Music, Elite Sound International, Blaze 'em Up Radio, Vinyl Frontier, Smile of the Ghetto Child, Usual Suspects, you know what I mean? Peace to everybody tuned in. Just waiting for him to hop up in here. Let me see if I can get him in here real quick. Peace to everybody tuned in. Yo, Bad C, what's good, brother? Mars 1. What's good, everybody? You know what I'm saying? Just waiting for the homie to hop up in here and we get the show started. Yo, Bad C, we gotta have you back on the show too, fam. Nah, I mean, it was good times last time. You know what I'm saying? Peace to everybody tuned in once again. Trying to get Pop the Brown Hornet up in here. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Got a lot of good shows coming up. More beat battles, of course. Oh, you already know, no doubt. Hell yeah. You already know. Yes. Waiting for him to hop up in here. Meanwhile, yeah. So a lot of dope shows coming up. We got Nova Tour. We're gonna be talking about his album dropping soon. Man, so many dope artists are gonna be on the show. I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to get, like I just said, the Bad Seed. I'm trying to get everyone that's been on the show before back on the show too, so we can discuss more recent projects and just chop it up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got any ideas of the platform or what you want to happen, just let me know. I'm trying to expand the platform too for everybody. Let's see. I was thinking of doing like a freestyle session and shit like that at least once a month, but like last time I tried to do that, nobody really showed up. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, what was the point? But you know what I'm saying? It's all good. Let me see. Keep trying to get them in there. Yo, Jooks, peace, brother. Speaking of Mars 1 Jooks, we got a track together called Instincts. You know what I'm saying? Video. We got the whole 9 and shit. Appreciate the fam. Jooks Diamonds hopping on there. Snow Goon family. You know what I mean? Make sure to also check out his recent album. You know what I mean? Follow him as well. Follow Mars 1 as well. Yeah, anybody that I tag me, pretty much just tag whatnot. I mean, follow him and shit. Word. But yeah. Yo, peace. Yo, Pop the Brown Hornet. Hit the request button, fam, and I'm gonna get you up in here. There we go. Peace to everybody tuned in. Shout out to MJ for the connect once again. You, what's good?
Yo, what's going on? Pop the Brown Hornet from out of Stapleton, Staten Island at 10304. Bombo fire! What's good, man? What's good, Supreme? Man. What's good, Supreme? What's good, baby?
Chill, man. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard the music, now I get to chop it up with you. You know what I mean?
Official, definitely. You already know. We here.
No doubt, man. How's your week going though so far?
Yo, man, you know how it is living a life, man. The ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster, but you know, once we got knowledge of self, man, there's nothing that can stop us. You already know that.
Oh, yo, facts. Yeah, I live by that every day, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Glass half full. That's what life's all about. That's how you gotta look at it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so let's hop right into it, man. So I got some questions and stuff like that to ask you aside from your more recent single and whatnot. I don't know if you guys been asked these questions before, but I figure I'm asking, throw them out there anyway. So, how did you come up with the name Pop the Brown Hornet?
Yeah. As a youngster, as a youngster growing up in America, I had a color complex. You know what I mean? So it was like I came out darker than a lot of my family members. So it was always like, damn, why'd I come out so dark? But my mother, shout out to Mama May. She always was like, yo, listen, let me tell you something, man. You the original, you supreme, all that good shit. So she really embodied that. So as I got into my color, or whatever the case may be, I wanted to identify with something. So watching the Fat Albert cartoon, they would tune into the Brown Hornet. So the Brown Hornet would always give him a message in their episode. So whatever the dilemma they was going through, the Brown Hornet would kind of, without even knowing, he would give them some knowledge and some insight on the dilemma they was going through. So me, as I come into the hip hop game, it was something that I can identify. He was a colored superhero, and every time he came on, he had a message to give. So me being an MC, I always wanted to be a message carrier. So I took on and I embodied the name of the Brown Hornet. My name was always Pop. My mother gave me that name because I looked like my grandfather, so I was always Pop. So I just added on the Brown Hornet.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I was wondering. It had like a superhero kind of feel to it. Like for some reason, it just felt that way. And so I'm glad you kind of elaborated on it.
And I'm here to save hip hop. I've always been here to save hip hop, but hip hop wanted to hang out with the knuckleheads and hang out in the parties and get high and sell drugs and all of that. But time has elapsed, and it's time for the righteousness to reign supreme, man. That's it.
No doubt. That's what's up. So I wanted to talk a little bit of past things too. So
yeah, I want you to talk about the past. Listen, man, I hope you did your all Supreme Almighty, like the Almighty. Do your homework. What's good, man? Come at me. Come at with everything you got. Everything you got.
No doubt. I got you on that. So, you know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly how this happened and what exactly happened with this, but I figured I'd ask. So, all right. So, GP Wu. So, how exactly were you associated with Wu-Tang? Like, what made y'all click? Who was it? Family members? Was it more so you guys were just that dope that you just got brought right in? Like, what was the scenario with that?
Pop the Brown Hornet happens to be the prequel to the Clan. I was down with the Wu-Tang movement before the Clan was even put together. You know what I mean? I come from Stapleton where Wu-Tang, the movement, started. You understand? And so it just happened that RZA was older than a lot of us, and he was in the industry with Tommy Boy, so he knew a little bit more about the industry than the Clan members. That's why when he came back, and when he was the Prince Rakeem and he wasn't successful on Tommy Boy, he came and he reinvented himself, but he also brought a gang with him. So the Wu-Tang movement was already in existence in Stapleton, and Ghostface Killah was part of he was like the founder of the Wu-Tang movement. He was the first one to start putting Wu-Tang in his rhymes. So the Brown Hornet, myself, we started doing that in Stapleton. But when he clicked with the RZA, who was already infused with the industry, you know what I mean? He went underneath the RZA's tutelage making beats, and he started recruiting for RZA, and that's how the Clan became about. That's why Ghostface, you'll see, his name is on credits, and he's from Stapleton where I'm from, and he's the only one from Wu-Tang Clan that's from Stapleton where Wu-Tang really started. But once they signed the pact, and once they made that pact, that anybody that was down with the Wu-Tang Clan, everybody else was exiled, including the Brown Hornet. But I was down with the Wu movement before the Clan was put together. So that's why when we came out on MCA, Hank Shockley and Daddy O wanted us to come out with GP Wu, which wasn't never supposed to be. We were supposed to be GP the Grain. But Hank Shockley decided to put the Wu stigma on it because just like I'm telling you the story, he heard the story. And he was like, oh, well, the world needs to know that y'all was part of the Wu creation. But the world isn't that sophisticated. They're very slow. You know what I mean? So whoever says it first kind of like gets the credit for it. So since RZA came out and the Klan came out and they represented the, you know, Staten Island, because at the time that Wu-Tang Clan came out, a lot of people didn't even know that black people lived on Staten Island. You know what I mean? They didn't even know that the Staten Island was street, because before them came the UMCs, which was a little bit of happier rap. And even before them came the Shaheem the Rugged Child with the On and On. So even when you do the Knowledge to the On and On video, Shaheem said GP and then it was Wu on the side. And they came out before the Wu-Tang Clan. In the On and On video, you'll see Shaheem with a sticker on his hoodie that said the Wu-Tang Clan protect your neck. That's before they even started blowing. So when the Wu movement started in the beginning on Staten Island, it was about unity, because Stapleton and Park Hill used to fight amongst each other. But we share the same zip code. We're both the 10304. You know, we're a 5-minute walk away from each other. But due to the fact that Stapleton and Park Hill had so much beef with each other, that when Wu-Tang came out and the majority of Wu-Tang Clan comes from Park Hill, they more or less got, you know, it got segregated again. Like, nah, we over here, we holding it down. And they exiled Stapleton, where I'm from. So I kind of got exiled, and the Wu-Tang and the GP Wu got exiled. We never got accepted in the Wu-Tang movement through the RZA. He kind of, you know, we got blackballed by them. So we was never accepted, even though we are the prequel. We come before the Klan when it comes to representing the Wu-Tang movement. If you can understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because
that's why if you hear me, like the first album, the first single I ever put on wax was "Can You Woo Woo Woo," or is it just the front? GP the Grains here to give you what you want. So that was even a shot at the Klan at the time, even back then, because a lot of the Wu-Tang members, and you know, like, and at the same time, like we talking about 30 years earlier. So I'm gonna give my accolades to the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, they're one of the best, you know, clan, you know, groups in hip hop history. So I can't take nothing away from that. But at the same time, a lot of the Klan members were anti-Wu. They was down with a whole different flag, but they put that flag down to join the Wu-Tang movement, and then became successful underneath that banner.
That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Because I mean, I have some knowledge of that, like prior knowledge and stuff like that. It's just, I find it, yo, it's very ill that you're like the first, I don't want to say it like that, but the first affiliate that I've heard actually break down that scenario. Because you know what I'm saying?
That's because I'm not an affiliate. I'm not an affiliate of RZA or the Wu-Tang Clan. I predate them. That's even when you look at GP, we have a whole different logo and all of that. So when we came with a whole different logo and a whole different, RZA wasn't jacking that, because it goes against the grain. That's why our album was Don't Go Against the Grain, because we are the grain of the Wu-Tang movement. And RZA knows that. So it was everything in his power to say, you know what, let's block anything that's coming out of Staten Island, because if they come with the truth, it's going to tarnish us. Yeah. And so
that's crazy.
I've been buried. I was buried alive due to the higher power. I come to you with my voice because I'm still here. You know what I mean? Cream rises to the top. If it wasn't for that, I would not be talking to you right now.
That's crazy. That's just crazy, man. Yo, I mean, I had some kind of idea, like some shit like that might have happened, but it's kind of crazy though, like just thinking about it that way. Like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, let
me tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you something that's real. When you grab your Raekwons, say Raekwon was Shala, Method Man was Shaquan. You know what I mean? U-Guard was always U-Guard. Inspector Deck was Deck. You know, but they come from Park Hill. They was down with a crew called DMD. That was called Dick 'em Down. That's the crew that they ran with. They dropped that flag and they got with RZA and got with Wu-Tang, which Wu-Tang, the movement started in Stapleton. The RZA was the producer. So he told them, listen, get with me, and if I don't make your life better within a year, you can go back to what y'all was doing. But they said, all right. So that's why when Raekwon was like, what got with the sick type clique and went all out? Yeah, you got down with Wu-Tang, but you wasn't Wu-Tang originally. You was anti-Wu. Y'all niggas was Dick 'em Down. But Dick 'em Down wasn't have sold in the industry. It was too vulgar. So they had to get with the Wu-Tang movement. And the Wu-Tang movement started in Stapleton, where I'm from. Bottom line, nobody could ever challenge that. Ever challenge where that shit started from. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. This ain't no Hulu lie. This is the facts. Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
That's why when he said, up from the 36 chambers, Ghostface, boom, 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 Shaheem, down low, pop the Brown Hornet. Why did he say my name? Because he knew I was there in the beginning. I'm the prequel. Like when we watched Star Wars, when I first watched Star Wars and I seen Darth Vader come on, I didn't know nothing about the dark side and this, that, and the third. I didn't know he was I didn't know Darth Vader crossed over to the dark side. I didn't know that. I didn't know the prequel to the story. And the world doesn't know the prequel. They didn't know that when the Prince Rakeem failed on Tommy Boy with, oh, we love you, Rakeem. He had to come back to Staten Island and reinvent himself. He had to come back and get the real goons, the real niggas that was out there in them fucking streets putting in that fucking work. It wasn't him, you know what I mean? So he had to grab the Method Mans. He had to grab the Inspector Dex. He had to grab the Ghostface Killers, the real motherfuckers that was out there doing what they was doing. He had to. They wasn't buying that up. Oh, we love you, Rakeem. They wasn't buying that. He had to come back thorough with thorough MCs. You feel me? And I could have been down with the Wu-Tang Clan, but I chose not to. And this is a real story. Me and Ghost is from Stapleton. You know what I mean? A lot of people think we cousins. Our families is very close. You know what I mean? My Aunt B was very close with his mother, Diane. Rest in peace to Miss Diane. You know, my Aunt B was very close to him. So me and Ghost knew each other since I was like 10 years old. We was throwing potatoes at cars on Tarjee Street when they drove by. Like, you know what I mean? That's how far we go back. And Ghost, he tried to recruit me to get down with the clan. He was like, yo, God, just get down, God. Come on, man. What you gonna do? And I got on with the phone with the RZA, and the RZA was like, yeah, but if you get down, you're only gonna get 5% of your publishing. And that kind of turned me off. And I want my own way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody else signed to the 5%, publishing. And you got U-God that wrote a book. You had a lot of disgruntled Wu-Tang Clan members that came up and said, yeah, we got fucked. I didn't join that party. I decided not to. I want my own route. You know what I mean? And when I want my own route and I didn't sign, they already made a pact with each other that anybody who's not down with this pact, you don't do no songs with them. You don't do nothing. So that's why I give kudos to Method Man, because Method Man answered the call to Biggie and got on that. I got more good clips than you. Niggas won't even step next to you. Method Man disobeyed the Wu-Tang and to get with Biggie, and he was the only one that did a feature on that Biggie album, which was a classic. But at that time, Wu was exempt from doing anything that was from outside the clan. They already made that pact with each other. So doing songs with me, I was blackballed. When I came out with Black on Black Crime and all of that, by that time I was blackballed because I didn't sign underneath their regime.
That's I mean, but really think about it, 5%. Like, you know what I mean? Anyone that's got a brain knows that's peanut. That's not coaching.
That's
fucking. You know what I'm saying?
That's why everybody was so eager at the time to go out there and sign a solo deal. On the Wu Clan deal, they was getting jerked. So that's why everybody was eager from, when the Old Dirty Bastard signed first, and then Method Man, and then Goes, and then Ray with the purple tape. They had to sign their own solo shit because underneath that Wu-Tang Clan banner, they was getting robbed. So, I mean, at that time, I wasn't with it, and and they blackballed me for that, and nobody even, they left me, they left me stranded on Staten Island, like they left Gilligan stranded on Gilligan's Alley. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. And it's very sad to hear too, because you're very talented, man. Like you got a lot of fire, bro, and it's like that's sad. Like that's their loss. I mean, technically that's their loss, because you know what I'm saying. They would have made money off what you got going, and they would have expanded. So it's like,
well, from the RZA's point of view, like if I would have signed to them, he would have definitely ate off me. And due to the fact that he wasn't, it was about blocking anything that came from out of Staten Island. See, when we talk about the Wu-Tang Clan in a whole, you know what I mean? A lot of those individuals aren't from Staten Island per se. You know what I mean? And even when you start with, even when you think with RZA, like all of they date back to Brooklyn, the Jizzas from Brooklyn, Old Dirty Bastards from Brooklyn. And he said that on the Protect Your Neck. Brooklyn's who? So Staten Island really hasn't a true representation of Staten Island artists, because the Clan, 70 to 80% of them aren't Staten Islanders. They moved to Staten Island. Even Raekwon said, and then we moved to Shaolin Land. You know what I mean? So Shaolin is a fictitious name that they put in front of them because they didn't want to represent Staten Island. So Shaolin was a fictitious name that they could all get behind, because they could hide behind that name Shaolin and not Staten Island, where they're not originally from. They're from Brooklyn. They're from here, Ugard is from they from different boroughs. So they might have grew up here and they learned the lingo and they learned the lifestyle, and that's what they brought to y'all. They brought to y'all a Shaolin lifestyle, but they're not originally from here. I mean, even the Jizza's from Brooklyn. He was the genius. He was on Cold Chillin'. Then he got down. He came through Staten Island. These dudes Old Dirty came through Staten Island. So they wasn't able to get on in their own borough. They came in through the back door through Staten Island, and they changed the name Shaolin fictitiously, and they got a whole bunch of fans. But as far as Staten Island representation, the world hasn't really seen the true representation of Staten Island, because there's nobody from Staten Island, from New Brighton that got on, nobody from West Brighton, nobody from Manus Hall, but nobody from these other areas that really got on besides, Stapleton and Park Hill. So, Shaheem, born and raised from Staten Island, he's a true Staten Islander, Ghostface as well. But a lot of the Clan, they are not from Staten Island. They from Shaolin, a fictitious place. Lyric.
I agree. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I'm baffled just hearing all this shit. I'm gonna be real with you, because it's like, let me ask you this question to kind of branch off of what was just said and explained. Did you see the series itself?
No.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go there then, because I wanted to know what your thoughts was, considering everything you just said. You know what I'm saying? To base it off of what was documented or whatever.
A lot of the Clan members done got out publicly and said they haven't watched it. From the Method Man to the Ghostface, is a fictitious story told by RZA and his brother Divine. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I'm not watching that bullshit.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. But this is just the point, and I'm glad you're saying that, because a lot of people think being blackballed is not real. It is. It's very fucking real. If you know what I'm saying, if you're trying to do your own thing, you're trying to stay true to your roots, and then you got to deal with, you know what I'm saying, all that other excess shit. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens, but I'm glad, like you said, that you're able to talk right now. You're able to do what you got to do outside of all that other stuff. But like, it's still crazy to hear though. Either way, like, you know what I'm saying, like, well, just hearing that.
I was gone. I was out of the picture. I was dead and buried. And then I came back, but my latest release was Foreman Mandela. And the reason why I did that is because, like I said, Foreman Mandela, I took George Foreman and Nelson Mandela's names and I put it together. So Foreman Mandela, George Foreman, he lost the belts to Ali. He retired for 10 years, and then he came back. It took him 7 years to get the belts back. That's 17 years. Mandela, locked up for 26, 27 years. He still got out. He became the president in certain parts of Africa, Nobel Peace Prize. So they didn't let time defeat them. And that's who the Brown Hornet are, embodied Nelson Mandela. It's been 20 years since I dropped a solo album. Hip Hop Unchained. We got drill music. We got all kinds of bullshit going on. I stayed true to who I am. Foreman Mandela. I didn't let time defeat me. Almost damn near 20 years since I dropped a solo album, but I still came back. You know what I mean? Regardless of me getting hated on, blackballed, or any of that. I don't let head to let the world know. Nobody did. Once you got knowledge of self and once you soul controller, there's no person on this planet that can stop you from doing what you want to do as long as you tell yourself that you can do it. Because the higher power is going to open doors that not even your haters can keep closed. So keep going and doing what you do.
I like that. That's very well put. It's true. It's very true. I agree with that. I did something similar to that. Took a hiatus and came back stronger. That's the only thing you can do. Because if you just let this shit just swallow you whole, then you have no one to blame but yourself.
You can't be the almighty unless you done been through trials and tribulations.
Yo, facts. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I'm not one to sit here and brag about shit and stuff like that, but I know for a fact that anyone that's been through those types of hardships always comes out stronger, always has a stronger mind, and is able to handle things differently than others might not be able to handle it. Because most people would have packed it up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would have just packed it up and I'm not bothering with this shit. But you know what I'm saying? Here you are, man. Like I'm you know, this is an honor to be able to talk to you about this shit. I didn't even know we was gonna go this deep into it, but I'm glad because this shit definitely opened my eyes. And anyone that's listening right now, you seen it in the comments. Everybody's like, damn, like that shit's crazy. Like, yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? Someone had a question, but I don't know if you really want to handle it, but Goosebumps asked, how heavy was the beef between Ghost and Ray? I'm not sure if you even want to answer that. It's up to you.
Yo, let me tell you something, right? And like I said, I love Ray. I love Ghost. I love Ghost. And I got love for Ray too, even though Ray is like one of the biggest haters in hip hop to me. But I still got love for Ray because me and him used to go to 49 together when he was just Shala, Corey Woods. You know what I mean? I'm Robert Briggs, so I'm not just going to throw names. That's my government. But I know Corey Woods. I know Shala. You know what I mean? So, and that beef was real because Ghost was a stick-up kid, like for real. And I'm sure he done stuck up Ray and the rest of them niggas, and he probably had, you know, Ghost came from hardship, you know what I mean? Like, and I love the respect, I love the fact that Ghost sits where he sits in today's time. Because if you would have asked the question, who was the most likely to succeed from Stapleton, Ghostface wouldn't have been the name that you would have said. You know what I mean? So his hardship and his pain put him in a position to be successful. But Ghost was a stick-up kid, and he wasn't the toughest motherfucker either. But when he was hungry, he was coming for yours. And you know what I mean? Me and him collaborated in a couple of situations. So I seen him in action. I'm like, man. And I don't look at Ghost like the world looks at Ghost. Like, you know what I mean? I know Ghost, but like I said, I'm proud of his accomplishments. And like I said, Ray had a beef with Stapleton in general. You know what I mean? Stapleton was like a gated community. You know what I mean? You couldn't come through Stapleton with no bullshit without being seen, period, point blank, bottom line. You know what I mean? Nobody came through Stapleton back in those days wanting nothing, or you would have got dealt with accordingly. So, and Ray wasn't coming through. A lot of them, you know, none of them niggas was coming through. Nobody came through Stapleton acting irrational. I'm just telling you how it was from the 80s to the mid 90s. So there was a couple of dudes that came through, you know what I mean, by themselves and licked a couple of shots, and kudos to them or whatever the case may be. But as far as saying you coming through and you terrorizing a town, that wasn't happening, because if you came down fucking with us, the older dudes would get involved. If you came fucking with the older dudes, the younger dudes get involved. It's like Stapleton was just like, you know, we was like family, and we could fight amongst each other. But when it came to outsiders, we was coming together, and we was getting rid of you, and we would come to your neighborhood. So when, you know, RZA talks about swarming, he's talking about the Parish crew. He's talking about the Gladiator crew, because we was the ones swarming, coming through different neighborhoods at that time. You know what I mean? You know, the Prince Rock, you know, RZA is not really a hood dude. He's a mastermind in doing what he did, but, you know, he wasn't out in the hood really. You know, he wasn't out there with those dudes like that. So
that shit's crazy. yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, let me not fall too far off a topic, because I kind of want to particularly focus on you and your music. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely want to stay in tune with that. That was a crazy story, and I'm glad you brought that up, because, man, you just blew my mind with all that shit. But yeah, so let's talk about your music though, because We were talking about GP War and whatnot against the Grains, man. That shit was hard, man. I'm just keeping it real. That shit was real hard, and I can see why you guys would be a fucking threat to anybody, because that shit definitely had its originality. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. So when you think about those times, like when the clan was doing, like, you got to understand, like I said, Shaheem is like our little brother. And when you look at the On and On video, when you say, look at this guy, look at Mr. Hardy, you know what I mean? I'm Mr. Hardy playing the plot. I get shot up in Shaheem's video. I roll on the floor. I do all of that. So we was all family. Shaheem was underneath our tutelage when he signed this deal. RNS was his producer. RNS is my producer. RNS produced Hey Ya Ho for King Just. RNS produced Anyway the Winds Blows for the UMCs. You know what I mean? So RNS is like the godfather of the sound of the Staten Island sound. You know what I mean? So we rolling with a legitimate force over here. So when a GP don't go against the grain, shout out to Rubber Band, shout out to Down Low Records, shout out to June Lover, my brothers, forever. But yeah, when we did that, we was just trying to tell Hank Shockley and Daddy, yo, we don't need no co-signing from no goddamn RZA. We got our own producers, we got our own movement. You think Master P is going to Baby and asking them for beats? No, Cash Money is Cash Money, and No Limit is No Limit. And they come from New Orleans and they repping, and that's what we was from Staten Island. It's just that, Hank Shockley got it all confused, and he tried to throw the woo shit on her, and all we had to do was be GP the Grain and represent Stapleton and the Grain. And from the first album to the second to the third to the fourth, we would have blasted off. We would have hit y'all niggas, but nothing but fucking hits. And that's my word to mommy. That's word to everything I love. We was going to get better. We wouldn't declined. You know what I mean? When you look at the Clan from the 36 Chambers and you look at the rest of their albums, it didn't get better. The double album didn't get better. I'm going to just say it. You feel me? So, and I know GP, we coming from Stapleton. You know what I mean? And we were all from Stapleton. From Shaheem to Rubber Bands to Down Low. It ain't like he coming from Brooklyn, he coming from Queens, No, this wasn't no man-made alliance. This was the Grain coming from out of Stapleton, Staten Island. So, no way in the world do I think we would have surpassed them in due time, because we was gelled and put together like that, and we was family, and we came from the hood like that. They had to dismantle that. He had to do everything in his power to do that.
It makes sense. If you listen to the fucking album, man, like, it's just raw. Like, it's just raw, it's gritty, but it was well put together, though. It was very well structured, but it just, man.
Lyrics, June Lover.
Yeah.
Rubber Bands, myself. And like I said, even with Shaheem, he wasn't on the album, though he should have been, because he's part of the GP movement. Yeah, man, listen, there's nothing in my mind that's gonna tell me we wouldn't have got better with time. That's just how it goes. I mean, when the Fugees first came out, the Fugees probably sold like 2 copies on their first album. That second shit went diamond.
That shit's crazy. Let me ask you this question: what's one of your favorite tracks off of that old album? Just throw it out there. Like, do you have any specifics, or is it just the whole thing to you was just all out fire? Like, you know what I mean?
What you talking about?
Yeah, Against the Grains album.
Yeah. Some of my favorite joints is definitely Chamber Danger with Down Low Record and Rubber Bands. That's everybody's favorite. And then it's like we got so many different numerous hits, and we come from different styles, but definitely Chamber Danger is probably number one.
Yo, Smoking was fucking fire, man.
Smoking's fire. Smoking. Yo, that, come on, man.
That shit was fucking raw, bro. That shit was raw. But another pick off of that, which might be as hard as the other ones, was Hip Hop. Like, it just kind of spoke to me.
Hip Hop was dying. I had to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Mm-hmm. They left him for dead. Only left him, played him on one station. They drug him to the lab. Yo, I mean, come on. Yo, I grabbed the pen in the back. I wasn't sure he would make it. These MCs fucked him up bad. Fed him guns and drugs, laced him up in gear worn by so-called thugs. Had him hanging out in fucked up clubs. He lost his glow. Only 21, addicted to blow. Come on, yo, we was
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that shit was even the hardest track on it. But it was fucking, that shit was some other shit, man. Like, yo, that shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, this shit.
Man.
Damn.
And that's why,
Damn.
as much as I love the Wu, you know, at the same time, I got a problem with them because you're supposed to put on for your city, put the best out there. You know what I mean? Let them shine with you. They're supposed to be a 103. They're supposed to be a Staten Island tour. Wu-Tang could headline, but you're supposed to have King Just, Shaheem, you know, the GP, the Graham, Pop the Brown. Come on, man. Y'all got selfish with the movement. To me, Wu-Tang stands for We United to Achieve New Goals. Because Stapleton and Park Hill used to fight amongst each other. And we was able to put that shit down for the music. We was able to unite. So that witty, unpredictable style that your man, we united to achieve new goals. Only it's been one-sided. The Brown Hornet is not happy with that. That's why the Brown Hornet is still active. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the light should be shined on Stapleton because we the innovators of this shit. Stop playing. And I know a lot of people is going to be looking at this and yeah. I always hear he's bitter, he's this, that, and I'm so happy. Yeah, I've been working 731 for the last 20 years of my life. That's local 731 in New York City. You know what I mean? I've been making good money I'm good. I am good. I've been working, I'm vested. You know what I mean? But in the back of my mind has always been like, yo, come out, yo, are you crazy? You ain't finished yet. Carry on this legacy, man. They need to know. The people need to know. You know what I mean? And there's no other Brown Hornet but the Brown Hornet. There's no other me. I'm not going to fabricate anything. I'm not going to make up any stories. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm from Stapleton, which is very prideful. So if I wasn't down with the Wu-Tang in the beginning, there's no way on God's green earth that I would jump on here and say that I was, if it didn't start from Stapleton. If Wu-Tang started anywhere else on this planet, there's no way that Pop the Brown Hornet would associate himself with that. If Wu-Tang started in Park Hill, I would never fight tooth and nail to say I was down with the movement. Never in my wildest dreams. Because I'm not a lap dance, I'm not a dick rider. I represent that Wu because it started from where I'm from. And I was there in the beginning. You know what I mean? So, like, you know what I mean? When KRS got down and he was rocking with your man.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened. So, I'll try to get him back in here. Not sure if it was my side or if it's his side. But once again, shout out to the sponsors, Logos, Creative Uses Music, Elite Sound International, Wisdom Radio, Vinyl Frontier, Smile the Ghetto Child, you know what I'm saying, Usual Suspects. I had a feeling Instagram was going to be acting up because my page has been acting all crazy since I updated it. But let's see if we can get him back in here so we can discuss more of his music and whatnot, because I'm not sure if it was my side or if it was his side that kind of crashed out. Peace to everybody tuning back in and whatnot. Try to get him back in here so we could discuss some more and whatnot. Not exactly sure what happened. Peace. Peace to everybody. Yeah, once again, shout out to everybody tuned in. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't know if my shit crashed out or if his shit crashed out. So I'm just waiting for him to hop back in here. So, you know what I mean? Appreciate all y'all tuning in and hearing these stories, because these stories are crazy, man. Like, glad to hear about it. Like, it's crazy. Word. Yeah, we're just waiting for him to get back up in here. Yeah. Yo, the stories you was telling is crazy. Yeah, yo, facts. Definitely crazy, man. That's why I'm hoping I can get him back in here, because I don't know exactly what happened. Like, I don't know if it was my side that crashed or if it was his side. I don't know what the hell happened. Peace to everybody still tuned in, though. Appreciate y'all. Word.
Yeah, what happened is you ran out of time, and we had to come back in, and kick it in. You know what I mean? But yo, just before we even get started with the rest of this shit, you know what I mean? We can get into the facts. Tune in my newest singles. You know, Shooting Your Shot is streaming on right now on all platforms. Shooting My Shot. So that's the latest single I got right now going on. But, you know, Shooting My Shot, come on, you got to request it, play it, add me to your playlist. But let's come on. We can continue this conversation. Let them know. You better tell the truth, man. This ain't no Hulu shit. This is real shit.
Yep. Facts. And everybody appreciates it, because everybody's in the comments talking about how crazy what you're saying is, how it's dope. Like, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad someone's telling the truth, man, because I don't like that fake shit either. You know what I'm saying? I know it wouldn't make sense for you to lie about it either. It just wouldn't. So it's like, it has to be fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyone that questions is just...
Motherfuckers would have came and been chopped my head off if I'm coming out here lying. The only people that's going to come at me is woo maniacs that you coming out my favorite. But as far as Method Man and all of the rest of them, they know the facts. They know the facts. I can't hear and lollygag. That's why when I hear, like, I'm not surprised when, like, U-God wrote his tell-all story and how this, that, and the third, and, you know, he was disgruntled about certain shit. It's like, yeah, RZA used all of y'all. I mean, he used the Sons of Man, Killer Army. A lot of these dudes didn't get paid publishing and for what they've done. You know what I mean? Y'all was used. I mean, if you can't be used, you're useless. And so I was useless to them because he couldn't use me. So they figured, you know what? Let's not even associate with the kid. But I've been putting out hits for years. My music is undeniable. So, and like I said, I do it for hip hop. I don't do it for these dudes. These dudes don't, like, RZA's not my soul controller. You're not my world like that. Like, you might be theirs, you might be their Abbott, but you're not my Abbott. Like, I'm not raising you over my head, and I'm not doing none of that crazy shit. Nah, we're not doing that. I'm from Stapleton, that 10304. We too raw for all of that shit. And I do it for the classic individuals that raised me. You know, when I say I'm Stapleton fly, because I was raised underneath individuals that was fly on all aspects, whether it be fighting, dressing, intellectual, all of these things. So, you know, RZA wasn't even that dude to come underneath of at that time. You know, he's not from Stapleton like that, from the hood. He lived up the block. He lived on the, you know, I mean, it just wasn't an individual I felt like I could confide in and trust. And he proved that he wasn't that dude by how he did the Klan members. So it's factual.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's good. It's good. Like I said, but again, it's good that somebody tell the truth for once. Cause, you know what I mean? I feel like that's why I was trying to go back to. Like, I didn't mean to call you directly an affiliate. It was more so, you know what I'm saying, like the old throwback, like the group and how everybody was associating y'all.
Anybody who's an affiliate of the Wu-Tang Clan, that means that would come under RZA. So when you talk about rest in peace Papa Wu and everybody he brought through, and then when RZA brought through the Sons of Men and Killer Army, he anointed those people. He made those affiliates and everybody else that comes underneath it. Like I said, we have our own logo. We had our own, we the grain. So we didn't come underneath his regime. And due to the fact that we didn't come underneath his regime and what he was trying to sell, he blackballed us and he blocked us out. He never embraced GP the Grain or GP Wu. We never did shows with them or anything like that. We was never welcome to the party when it came to them, because in order to be the greatest rap group ever, you gotta dismantle and kill everybody else. And usually history is always told by the victor. And so since they're victorious and they're more acclaimed and they're more financially stable, you're more prone to listen to his story and how they tell it, because the history is always told by the victor. That doesn't mean that the story is true. It's just, they was victorious. So they got to dictate how the story was written.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. And like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad that we're being told the truth because, you know what I mean? Like you said, all the Wu fans, the fanatics and shit may not listen, but they need to listen because, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that had similar situations.
Well, listen, but I understand. You got to understand, like the Wu put out music that helped change people's lives or help, you know, whatever it did. You know what I mean? And I can't take that away from them. When people drop classic music or music that penetrated their souls or whatever the case may be, that's real. That's authentic. You can never take that away from them. But there's more to it than just the clan. That's what I'm trying to tell the world is there's more to it than that. And there was deeper individuals than that. You know, just because they tell the story and they say they was the best that coming from out of Staten Island doesn't necessarily mean it's true. You know what I mean? That's what they told y'all. But like I said, they don't reign from Staten Island. They wasn't born out there. They wasn't raised out there. They came out there, they absorbed the lifestyle, and they brought it to the public first. You know, but like I said, you had the UMCs who actually mentioned Wu-Tang on their album before the Clan even came out. They mentioned Wu-Tang because the Wu-Tang was a movement in Stapleton. So Haj G, who's part of the UMCs, he comes from out of Stapleton, Staten Island. So and when they was up R&S doing their album, the Wu-Tang movement was already in existence. So when they went to move to Wu-Tang on their album, that's because they'd seen the Wu-Tang movement in their neighborhood. So they know that, oh, y'all leaving? You leaving? Oh, wait. No, I ain't leaving. I'm doing an interview. So look, I'm doing an interview. So I ain't leaving yet.
Yo, this fucking shit.
No, y'all let y'all eat the wings. No, y'all let I'm coming. Let me finish the interview. I'm part of it.
Yeah, they want to keep you from the eat out or whatever, man. Your word.
Nah, they all good. They can eat that. They can eat that. But yeah. But it's like, you know, I mean, like I said, I tell real shit. I don't gotta fabricate anything. It's unfortunate that it happened this way because I feel like Wu-Tang, the movement, could have been so much bigger. Like the Wu-Tang deserves a museum. They deserve more than just a block named after them. You know, the Wu-Tang movement was so big, and King Justice part of it, Shaheem, myself, GP, and many others. You know, but they really got selfish with it because you're dealing with individuals that never had nothing. You know, when you talk about the Wu-Tang Clan, they was like, they was the outcasts, they was the misfits, they was out in the street, they was grinding, and I take nothing away from their struggle and where they got. But when they was able to reach success due to the fact that success was so elusive, especially when it came to Staten Island, that they didn't want to share it. They kept it to themselves, and they didn't want anybody to challenge, their rap skills. But there was definitely we definitely out here.
Like I said, man, anyone that watches is back, and I'm putting this up on YouTube when I once I edit this out because of what happened and whatnot. But I want everybody to watch this, and I want them to understand that everyone has a story. The story to everything. There's always two sides to everything, but at the same time, take everything in, open mind. Because at the end of the day, I didn't know all this, and now everyone is listening right now. Way more wiser about what goes on in the game and what could possibly happen if you're not doing shit right. 5% publishing. You know what I mean? Anyone that was thinking of how big the movement was at that point, probably like you probably would go for it, but it's not a smart move. You know what I'm saying? You made the smart move by not jumping the wagon. You know what I'm saying? So like that's you inspiring people right now with this shit. I seen people in here saying you inspired them in the comment section. So yeah, like mission accomplished, man.
Trust me, I've been asked in plenty of interviews, like, yo, in hindsight, do you regret not getting down with the Klan? Hell no. No, because in all actuality, I didn't really rock with the Klan like that. Like I said, a majority is from the Hill. And even though we know each other, and I know Method Man, Shaquan, I know Raekwon, I know U-Guard, I know Inspector Deck, I know these individuals, but, Ray said I was smoking wools at the age of 16. The combination made my eyes green. At 16, I wasn't smoking wools, so you wasn't part of my crew. I was playing football for Noodle. I was snapping, slap boxing. I was doing other shit. I wasn't smoking crack, so you wasn't part of my crew. So but getting down with them wasn't something that I was eager to do because I knew that they was just different than what I was. They had something different to bring to the table. But I wasn't hanging with Wooler heads. No, respectfully, I wasn't doing that at that, so that wasn't my crew. So I didn't look at it as I was losing anything not getting with the Klan. I figured with my rap skills and with what I have and possess, I'm gonna represent Staten Island on my own timing. That's all. You know, I'm different.
But you gain more from it. You got to keep your soul. You know what I mean?
I kept my
keep your
soul, baby. I didn't have to sell my soul for 5 cents, B. I'm here. I get my publishing. I'm still in control. You know what I mean? I ain't have to raise RZA above my head like he's some fucking... No, we ain't doing none of that, B. And we ain't doing none of that over here, B. I'm from Stapleton, B. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah.
All right. So, but yeah, before I know you got to dip out and whatnot, but before we do that,
I ain't gotta do nothing. I ain't gotta do nothing, Supreme. I ain't gotta do nothing. They can, you know what I mean? I'm here with you, man. So whatever you want to ask, I just want to clarify a lot of shit. So whatever you gotta ask, like I said, I got the Foreman Mandela album that's streaming. Anybody want to stream that? Like I said, shooting my shot, the latest. I got, you know, the best of both foods, the Emperor and the King, with my brother King Just, who's from Park Hill, and we share the 10304. So don't think there's not unity out here. There is, but you know, there's a couple of individuals that, you know, got over on their talent, and they just wanted to burn bridges, but we still here, man. And like I said, there's unity out here as well as there's hatred out here. I want to see Staten Island win. That's why Pop the Brown Hornet is still into the game, because I believe that Staten Island hasn't had its true representation as far as the borough is concerned. And, you know, I'm just part of a long-going movement and tradition and legacy, and I want to see the whole Staten Island win. I want to put on for my city, and I don't think that we've been represented correctly with the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, it gets deeper than just them brothers, and they're far removed from Staten Island. They've been successful for 25 years. They don't come out here like that. They go to maybe one section, Park Hill, and the rest of us, you know, are left. So, nah, there's more to be heard and said from Staten Island, the borough.
That's great. But yeah, to actually hop into the music, aside from that though, because I do have questions based off of that. So the Mandela album, you have any favorite song for that you recommend people for a first time listener?
Yeah, you just gotta listen to the whole joint, but you know, the title track, Foreman Mandela is pumping. Zaddy Gotcha. I'm from Stapleton. I got a joint, Stapleton Fly. So that's on there, straighten it out. It kind of like touches the temperament of what's going on in the streets now, the overdosing and the gang violence and all of that. So I got a little something for everybody. Like when I grew up off the greats, you know, the Princes, the Michaels, Jack Jacksons, the Teddy Pendergrasses, and you know, all of these greats, yo, they made albums to whereas, you know, they had something for everybody. So when Pop the Brown Hornet makes an album, I don't want my album to sound like one track. I try to make a variety of different sounds, and so, you know, it might be your favorite, and then I want a song that's going to be their favorite. I just want to touch mad people. So, you know, my album is just like a baby. That's like me asking you, what child do you like the most? If you got 5 kids, you love them all the same. Yeah. So, you know, when I make these songs, I love them all the same, because it's a different creation, it's a different element, it's a different part of me that I'm able to put down on track and give to the world, service to the world.
Yeah, ask you a question, brainstorm for that same question. Is there anything you would have wanted to change the album? Like anything you would want to change to the album, or do you feel like you're comfortable with everything that happened with it? Yeah,
now I'm happy with everything, because like I know there's more to come. You know, I'm gonna work on another album, and I'm gonna get busy, and you know, I'm gonna give the fans, you know, first and foremost, I make music for me, and if the world likes it, the world likes it. I don't make the music for the streets. I don't make the music I make the music for the galaxy. I'm not catering to the streets. I'm catering to you know, hip hop fanatics around the world. So I make the music for me, and I'm pleased with the Foreman Mandela. And like I said, I'm gonna work on another project, and I'm gonna be pleased with that. You know, once I critique it and I listen to it over and over, and I feel like it's ready for the world, I'm happy with it.
No doubt. I just gotta get some honorable mentions off of it though. Straighten it out. Love it. You know what I mean? Definitely feeling that. And then the title track, Foreman Mandela, man. Like, I think you fucking went real hard on that shit. Like, just putting that out there for honorable mentions for those that listen to it. I mean, the whole entire shit it's like you said, it's variety. If you really listen to it, it's variety. It's not one sound after the same sound, same sound, same sound. There's all these different flavors in it, and that's what I liked about it. So just to touch on that, even though it's an older album, not really older per se, but it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when it's underground, it's not old. Like, you know, people haven't heard of it. I get a new fan every day. So there's a lot of people that haven't heard Foreman Mandela. So even if I dropped it in, 2020 or whatever the case may be, I'm still pushing it because I remember when Master P came out with, you know, and all of that. That shit was 4 or 5 years old before it went mainstream. So, and even when we dealing with TikTok, there's a lot of these artists that drop songs that doesn't catch fire till 3 or 4 years later. That's just where we're at with it. I'm not mainstream. I'm not on the big conglomerate albums, so I got to work extra hard. But what's old to us is really new to them.
Facts. Shooting my shot, definitely, man. Like, this more recent. Definitely, it follows up strong after that album, though. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I would have thought it actually came from that album almost because it was just so well meshed together. Like, it would have went good with it. It would have went perfect with it. So,
right.
Like, just putting that out there too.
And anything thereafter, you know, I'm gonna just make sure that it's hip hop and that it's you know, I'm my worst critic. I'm not gonna put anything out there that I'm not. It's not gonna sneak past me at all.
Yeah, no doubt. Now one other question: do you already have a video for that? Because I ain't see any.
Nah,
are you putting one out?
Nah, I didn't put one out. I want to put one out. These females is mad elusive, but I do want to catch. I just want to catch the right female type shit. That's really why I haven't did the video yet. And they just got to be willing to do, you know, what I want to bring to the table. And like I said, me being independent, I wanted to just rock it for the DJs and then come with the visuals a little later as the weather gets better. And I can really maximize off what I want to bring visually to the video. So, but I plan on doing it because, like I said, I'm independent and I know I could push it and it's still going to ride out. You know what I mean? I don't depend. I'm not going to drive an album to next year, so I'm just still going to slow grind it because, like I said, it's independent. A lot of people haven't heard it, and I just wanted to use a different approach. I wanted the DJs to be on it and like it, and then I'll bring some visuals. If it catches fire, it catches fire. But I just wanted to have a different approach because a lot of times I would do the video first and come with the song. So I just wanted to just do a song and let the DJs jump on it, then come with the visuals and then see how it manifests from there.
No doubt. Yeah, that's big. I'd ask because, like, I was actually researching. I was trying to look it up because the song was hot. So I was like, yo, I want to see the visuals now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I figured.
And that's what I kind of wanted to do. I kind of wanted people to be like, yo, this song is hot. Yo, where's the visuals? So when the visuals do come, it's like, you know, shorty gotta be right, and the whole mood gotta be set, and the whole swag gotta be correct for that video.
No doubt. Can't wait to see that. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely tag me in that shit when you drop it. I want to watch that shit.
Nah, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice when I get that, especially when I get a cooperative female. So if you're out there watching female, you got a sister, cousin, or whatever that you look. You know, she gotta be chocolate though. I'm looking for a chocolate female so I can make this shit really bounce off the, you know, how I got the cover of the album looking. And, you know, I want to bring, you know, I want to give them visuals. There's nothing like that to me. You know, visuals make and bring out a song. So I definitely want to bring the visuals to the forefront.
No doubt. So I got one more question for you before, you know what I mean, we dip out. And I don't know if you want to do this or not, but I figure I'd throw it out there. I'm shooting my shot. Yo, would you be down to drop some bars, man?
Yo, that mumble rap, I can't adapt. How about some hardcore? Yeah, y'all, let's bring it back to that. That boom back, but rugged track. I'm not from the boogie down, but I spit that Joey crack. My mic juiced up like A-Rod, I'm killing them, God. I'm banned from radio, my vocals is too hard. They crave that R&B melody, my track's a felony. Another banger by the bomber, they sentenced me 1 to 3. I turned that shit into a life bid, I'm that nice kid. That beast flow got me laying up on death row. I'm Staten Island's most hated and never lost my touch. My borough's in dire need, I'm coming through in the clutch. You know what I mean? And then you know, but I got rhymes for days. Like I say some shit like, Ever since I was a youngin', I hit the ground running, selling dollar joints off my first onion. Cut a track with Hornets, put it in the Project Cunyon. Fresh off the press release from out the dungeon. 4-track, 8-track, taking it way back. King Just UMC, Shaheen with the backpack. Kept a rap book, glued to my waistline. Was all day flames at the back of the lunch line. With nothing but bars, they put me down with the chain gang where I fucked the warden's daughter. She left the guard happy. 9 months later, I'm that baby's pappy. Pick any one of them, any 2 of them, any 3 of them. I'll out-rhyme him. Make sure, I know that you heard it through the grapevine that I'm Pop the Brown Hornet and I'm coming to take mine, no handouts. Run up in you and your man's mouth. Somebody call run, let them know I'm cleaning house. Everybody gotta go, the kids, dog, the spouse. Let's not forget your secret lover and videos with hoes. I'm a down low gutter. Watch out, her shit spicy to burn through the rubber. Yo. But yeah, I got some shit, man. I got
Okay, I like that. Yo,
I don't care who you listen to. They can't fuck with me. Polo head to toe and my feet stay crispy. You know what I mean? Outside rolling up with some chicks that stay tipsy. My hitting my jack like, where you at? I'm still puffing yak. Go take that ass a nap. Cause when daddy come home, I'm making the bed rock. The Zaza's okay, but I miss me some Hancock. Hawaiian tying Alaskan. Shorty in a 40 hen skin through a lambskin. Sure talking handsome. Harp tone, Dicey's grandson about to dance on these niggas like Sammy D. Hornet here to take over the streets like Steady B. These Briggs kids coming for everything they said we couldn't have. On my fab, just throw it in the bag. I dog walk 'em and toe tag 'em. Play in Hell's Kitchen, get cremated by the last dragon. I spit lava, I don't blow grabber. Pass me some raw sheets with hashish. Yo, it's the beach from the Big East. Terminate the lease. Talk to me nicely or lose your teeth. Now tell me who really fit the spits ball. Got that ass shaking like you working the tit ball. Yo, it's Pop the Brown Hornet though. Yo, we here, man. Like, yo, Pop the Brown Hornet, that 10304. Shooting my shot, go add me to your stream, you know what I mean, to your list. I'm here, I got bars for days. I'm coming with some more shit. I appreciate you, SupremeDaalmighty. You know what I mean? Pop the Brown Hornet 10304. Bombo fire! Signing off. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We gonna definitely talk after this ends and shit. I appreciate your time, bro, and appreciate MJ for the connect. Straight up.
Yeah, love on top. Much success to what you're doing, because I know you want to come up. So I wish you nothing but success in what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. And you know what I mean? Stay focused. Almighty, one love. Pop the Brown Hornet. You already know. Signing off. Love. Bombo fire.
All right, brother. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, that's Pop the Brown Hornet. Woo! Yeah, some motherfucking bars, man. Yo, make sure to follow him. Check out his album. You know what I'm saying? On Spotify. Check out his latest release on Spotify. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to MJ for the connect once again. Yeah, man. Yo, you heard it. This, man, so much to take in. Y'all gonna have to rewind this shit and rewind this shit. There's so much to take in, man. Like, yeah, I appreciate his time. I appreciate everything he does for music. And I appreciate him holding it down for his hood. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare when people actually stay in their hood, rep it, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate the shit out of that. So I'm just keeping that out there. And I wish him the best of luck on all his ventures and everything he does, man. He deserves it, straight up. Anyways, yo, once again, check out the new YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be adding this video onto that, so make sure to go follow, what do you call that shit? Subscribe to that. Make sure to follow him, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. I'm gonna tag him. And yo, shout out to the sponsors once again, you know what I mean? Snow Goons, Creative Juices Music, Elite Sound International, Blaze Mark Radio, Vinyl Frontier, Smile the Ghetto Child, The Usual Suspects. And yo, I'm gonna check y'all next week. Peace and blessings.